153, just huge number. What
Yeah.
worked well for you guys offensively tonight?
You guys started this with that conversation we had earlier about the offense exploding. So we wanted to make sure we held up our end of the bargain, but it was just an incredible performance by the guys in that locker room. Sharing the basketball, touching the paint, kick out for threes, rebounding the ball. And I continue to say it goes back to our defense. When we can get stops, when we can rebound, and we play in the open floor, it's some of our best basketball. It's a really fun game to be a part of.
And you guys got 2 days of practice there. Was there anything you guys tried to work on adjustment-wise that you felt like you put into that game and you saw it out there or anything like that?
Play harder. That's number one. We have to play harder and consistently, no matter who we play against. We know we're more than capable. Defensively, play together, communicate, finish possessions, and offensively, share the basketball. Continue to play with confidence and share the basketball. Tonight was a good step in the right direction.
You talked about the three-point shooting during practice on Monday, but it seems like, shooting is contagious. You guys make 26 threes. CJ has 9 of them. How much did his individual explosion lead to the entire team getting the flow?
Yeah, CJ ignited the whole group. He got us going early. He did the same thing last time we played here. He got going early, shooting the basketball with confidence. Guys started to look for him, and it's like you said, it's contagious. Now other guys are getting a part of it, and it's once again, it's beautiful basketball to be a part of, and it's fun to watch.
And since the start of training camp, you talked about the importance of increasing the volume of three-pointers, one of those teams. And you guys have experienced some ups and downs with that, but just seeing how consistently it's been going up and up throughout the course of the season, how gratifying has that been?
It's extremely gratifying to see the team buy into what we're trying to accomplish. We go over it over and over again on film. We get on the floor, we work on it, and it's great for them to come on the floor, have some practice days, and then have that carryover in the game where we continue to trust that these shots are open for us. We're going to take them. I thought CJ, Brandon, Z, they do a great job of finding their teammates. Z with 11 assists to tonight, career high for him. So that's what it's about for us, continuing to get stops and make sure all the guys are involved.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Z next because you talked in practice yesterday about getting the ball in his hands early, career high in assists. How much did that kind of play into that, him just getting involved early, getting the feel for it, and kind of being able to put his input on the game?
As we continue to learn our team, put the ball in his hands for the first few minutes of the game is important because now you have BI and you have CJ, you got Herb who shoot the ball well too. All of those guys are spaced. It allows Z to attack the basket, touch the paint, and if they help, he's going to make the right play 99% of the time, and that's what he did tonight.
One of the things we saw from you guys was going to Larry there to start the second half. Can you just explain what went into that decision there?
We're continuing to evaluate our first unit, and we want to try to, as best we can, continue to help that group be the best that they can in the minutes that they play. And that's a way that we can shorten the minutes and see how Larry looks with that group. JV will continue to start, but, sometimes we're kind of matching the groups up to get the best groups on the floor together.
Hey, Will, you had a franchise high in assists tonight, 41. But what's kind of been your message to this team to make them so unselfish like that? They're willing to make those passes?
Trust. That's what it comes down to. All of us, our players, everybody on the staff, the coaching staff, everybody just continue to trust in each other. And you have to do it even more when you play against the best teams like Phoenix. When I say Phoenix, that was our last game. Continue to trust each other. Continue to trust that if you make the right plays on both ends of the floor, the guy next to you is more than capable, and the energy, the ball finds energy. So I'm proud of our group. We all are. We're proud of this group, having the response that they had after last game, and we want to continue to build on it.
They could have cut it to 6. Herb makes the block. And
Yeah.
What about that sequence?
I think that changed the game for us in the second half. Herb, like you said, he makes the block on Collins. We go down, score. I think they take the ball out. He gets the steal, dunk, timeout. Now it's a 12-point game. or 10-point game, something like that. It changed the game for us. It changed the momentum, and you don't want the game to come down to those plays because we were playing well. They got back in it, but Herb Jones made 2 incredible plays that really changed the momentum of the game.
I know you just talked about it being buy-in with regards to 3-point attempts, but the last 3 games it's 47 attempts, 42 attempts, 46 attempts. 2 of those nights you made over 23s. Is there something, I guess, like more specific of a catalyst, or like was there like more urgency stressed on getting this number of attempts up? Because that's a lot of attempts, and you guys are generating more than you pretty much ever have. You're breaking franchise records.
Yeah, it's definitely we're making a conscious effort to score when we have opportunities to, and the way the league is that we want a balanced offense, and we know we can get to the paint. We know we can get to the free throw line. We have to do better at shooting threes. Is what we came out of last season with. Excuse me, but it's a credit to our guys. They're buying into it. We're showing it, and they see the results. And that's the biggest thing is when you get results early, when they see the difference, and when we shoot threes and when we make them, it's hard for teams to stay in games with us.
Do you think it's easier or more difficult to balance the floor when it comes to transition defense when you're taking more threes versus you're taking more twos?
It's difficult. It's difficult to balance the floor when you have guys spaced, especially with the driving capabilities of Zion, of Brandon. You can throw the ball to JV in the post. CJ he's a 3-level scorer. Herb, you got guys that can all drive the ball, but they can all shoot. It's difficult to match up.
Well, it seemed like you had Utah on their heels all night, and you noticed Larry Nance came in the first quarter. It seemed like every rebound he grabbed, he was trying to push the pace.
Yeah.
And then right after that, when Zion re-entered the game, he was really pushing the pace too after that. Is that really the identity of the team? Not only getting stops, but then just getting up the court as fast as you guys can?
It was our emphasis coming out of the last loss. We watched film on it, and we got on the floor and worked. And that's the deal is when we get stops, we let's get up and down the floor and let's play fast, let's play together. And tonight was a great example of that.
And does it look like Zion to you maybe has more energy when he's
Yeah.
going up and down the court like this in this type of game, has the ball more in his hands?
He does. It's something that, like I said, we're learning more and more with our group and how to keep defenses off balance, and especially with the starting group, putting the ball in his hands early helps us. And so we'll continue to look at it, but we like what we saw tonight.
Coach, you talked about bouncing back. You did it after the Nuggets game, also after the Clippers game, and now tonight after the Phoenix game. How do you like how your team's responding to tough losses with big explosive games right after?
We enjoy it. We enjoy taking on the challenge of, we didn't play our best game, and let's come back and be better. And it's a credit once again to the character in the locker room. I'll say it again. I'm extremely blessed to have an opportunity to coach this team. Griff and his staff, they've done an amazing job of bringing in high character guys, and they make our jobs easy. But that's what you see when these guys go and respond. They care about each other. They care about the game.
And when you say some spectacular dunks from Zion, but what were your impressions?
That was crazy. The one-hand dunk was that was pretty spectacular. But he can do things like that, and I don't get used to it for sure. I do not. Every time I see it, I'm amazed.
I know you got multiple all-star level players, but I think CJ is now perhaps the highest scoring average guy for a guy who hasn't made an all-star game. Just what do you think about his candidacy for a guy for what he's done this season and just what he's been able to accomplish in his career?
Yeah, I mean he's the consummate pro. He's done it all his career, and we would definitely love to see CJ get an opportunity to be an all-star. But I think he'll agree with this. More importantly, we want to have a deep run into the postseason and playoffs and have an opportunity to do some damage in May and June, hopefully. And so we want those things to happen for all of our guys, but more importantly, we want them to continue to do everything it takes to contribute to winning, which they're doing.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Herbert, 153 was a franchise record for points for you guys. What do you feel like worked well offensively for you all tonight?
I mean, we were just sharing the ball, trusting in each other, and taking our shots with confidence or making our reads with confidence.
Yeah, I mean, I know coming off of last season, like just getting more threes up was an emphasis for you guys as a team. Like, do you feel like, you know, you've kind of seen that these last few games of like just super high volume?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of a, you know, like you said, our point of emphasis on getting up more threes to open up the lanes for, you know, our guys that get to the rim.
And for you, 22 points tonight, shooting the ball at a really high level these past couple of weeks. What do you think has been the biggest difference for you this year on the offensive end, just kind of progressing and kind of taking that next step?
I mean, I'm just showing up and putting my work in, living with the results. That's kind of all I can credit it to. I don't think I'm doing anything differently. Just trusting in my work and taking my shots with confidence.
Can you kind of just walk us through that sequence where you get the block, the steal, and the behind the back pass to Z, kind of a big momentum changer right there?
It was just kind of odd instincts. I think Colin, we didn't get matched up in transition, and I just tried to get over and you know, put out the fire, and luckily he passed it to John Collins and I got the block. But the steal, I had kind of seen it before it happened because Colin was calling for the ball, and I think Chris Dunn didn't see me. And so I just trusted my instincts and believed in what I saw.
And Herb, Z had 11 assists tonight, a new career high for him. I think BI had 6. I think you had 5. Is this the best version of the Pelicans when you guys are really looking for each other, trusting each other? Because there's so many weapons on this team.
For sure. You know, as long as we're sharing the ball and playing for each other, you know, I think we can compete with anybody in this league.
And what do you think really got you guys going in that first quarter? I noticed that Larry was really grabbing a rebound, trying to push the pace. Then Z started doing it. I think I saw you do it a couple times as well. Is that what drives this team, where you guys then are able to play with the most force that you can by stopping guys first and then getting out and running?
Yeah, I think it all starts on the defensive end. It allows us to get out in transition, and I think we, you know, do a good job of converting our transition opportunities.
What do you make of the job that CJ has done this year, changing his shot profile, just like really embracing being a deadly threat from 3 and the success he's had regarding that?
I mean, I think, you know, CJ can always shoot the ball. I just think he's getting up a lot more threes now, and it's just kind of showing that, you know, I know before I think he shot a lot of mid-ranges. I mean, he can shoot the ball. It doesn't surprise me at all.
And just in general, like, you know, he's been like a career 20 points per game guy. Just hasn't made an all-star game yet. What do you make of his candidacy just based off the year that he's having?
I mean, I don't think CJ really cares about the accolades. I think CJ just wants to win and do whatever for the team that he needs to do to win and put us in the position to win. So, you know, I know he'll stay consistent in what he's doing moving forward, but I mean, CJ just, you know, he's just a winner. He just wants to win. Like, he's doing whatever it takes to win.
You had a fast break dunk, I think, in the fourth quarter where you kind of just gently put it in the basket. I don't know if you noticed that Jose gave you 2 thumbs down, that he wasn't happy with that dunk. Did he or any of the guys say anything to you about that?
Nah, they know me. 2 points is 2 points. I appreciate it. Appreciate y'all.
153 was a franchise record for points for you guys. Just what do you think you guys did well offensively in this game?
We made shots. We made them at a high clip, to be honest. But a lot of that was just transition, getting stops going, and when we ran our offense, we ran it with force.
You had 11 assists, career high. What helped you just get into like kind of a flow as a playmaker tonight?
Just my coaches and my teammates trusting me to kind of be point Zion throughout most of the game. I would say that definitely helped me just kind of get a feel for the game and just get a feel for where my teammates are going to be at.
Yeah, did you feel like there was more of those kind of opportunities, like the point Zion opportunities and things like that?
Absolutely.
Willie told us one of the things y'all worked on the past couple of days was kind of getting you involved early, getting you some touches early just to get you going. How did y'all kind of just come to that conclusion collectively that y'all wanted to kind of put that into the game plan?
Honestly, I think it was just kind of over the course of the past few days, different coaches would come talk to me and would ask, like, what is your mindset in the beginning of the games? And my mindset is just kind of get the lay of the land, really see how the defense is guarding me and when I can attack and when not to. And I'm able to do that because I have, like, CJ and B out there. So, they usually get it going early, but, the coaches spoke to me and just told me that I need to be more aggressive to start the game.
Yeah, last year we talked a whole lot about y'all wanting to be a team that shoots more threes, being able to open the floor for you, and now that y'all are successfully doing it, how has that kind of changed the game for you?
It makes the game easier. I can't lie. You got dudes out there like Hawk, Murph, CJ, B.I., and even Herb and JV and Larry. We really got shooters across the board, and we're on the court. Anybody is capable of running off 2 or 3 threes in a row.
And Z, you got to your 10 assists before you got 10 points. Did you ever think you'd get double-digit assists, 4 points, scoring that amount of points in a game?
When I was younger and I was like only playing point guard, yeah, I probably did that a few times, but in the league, no, I never saw that.
You remember the last time you had 11 assists?
Probably high school. Yeah, I'm gonna say probably high school was the last time I had 11 assists.
This one mean a little bit more?
Me personally, individual stuff, I always say it, when we win, stuff like that will come with it. I'm just glad we were able to get a bounce-back win after our last loss at home. So I think that's what I'm most excited about.
And there were a number of great plays in tonight's game, but what did you think of Herb coming up with, I think, a key steal, grabbing it in midcourt, and then he got down the court, B.I. flipped it to him, and he flipped it behind the back to you for a dunk?
That was an amazing play, but the block he had, where I was there, and I'm like, man, it just kind of happened so fast, and it wasn't until I went and sat down where I was like, yo, did you see that? Like, that man just went up and just grabbed it. But that's Herb. Herb lives for plays like that. And he's unselfish, where he could have easily had went up and finished the layup or dunk. He was unselfish and made the pass. So, that showed what kind of dude Herb is.
Hey, Zion, you often talk about playing point guard when you were younger, but who are some guys you kind of looked up to as far as just passing, just watching them?
Magic Johnson, Kenny Anderson. I know one y'all ain't gonna know. I feel like only people out of Baltimore really know this one. A brother named Skip Wise. I would say those 3, and just my stepdad, just kind of teaching me the game.
Zion, on the 2 alley-oops you had tonight, I don't know if you watched the replay of it, but can you kind of talk us through that first one, the one you caught with one hand?
The first one I caught, I was kind of in a position where I was going to be falling out of bounds, and it was kind of like one of those game time decisions where should I go up with 2 hands or just go with 1, and it was just one of those, fuck it, I'm going with 1. And I was able to make it. The second one was kind of just a chest move. The first one I kind of did a Maggette cut, got the foul. So Kelly was looking for the Maggette cut, so I just did a ghost cut, and CJ found me. And I was able to finish.
I know you've spoken about how you're going to take the season. It's going to take the season to kind of get back in rhythm and stuff. Now that we're in the second half, or entering the second half of the season, just where would you say you're at physically, mentally, and I guess all the above? How are you feeling?
About 88, 90%. I'm getting there. And then my body feels good, and I'm just happy to be on the court. I missed a lot of time, and I'm just glad to be out there.
Is it reinforcing or rewarding that, like, you know, as you are also getting back to where you want to be, you're having success, but the team is also having success. You know, you guys are having a good season in the playoff race and stuff. Is it rewarding and reinforcing that the work's paying off too?
Absolutely, because I always say in interviews, we all have the same goal here, and that's to win. So I feel like we're continuing to put ourselves in positions to win, and gotta be consistent with it.
JV had 17 and 13 in 23 minutes. Can you talk about just how tough he was to stop in the paint, and/or there was a play where he fought off like two guys and ended up with a dunk, you know, in the paint, and the coaches all went crazy. What did you think of just his performance?
That's a man. Like JV's strong. I know I'm strong, but I gotta build my force. JV is just strong. So when I see him do stuff like that, I mean, part of it's him being strong, and part of it's IQ, him knowing where to position himself to get those rebounds. He probably would have had 17 and 17 had he not missed those few minutes in the third. But I mean, that's JV. He's a pro's pro.
Is there a story behind the shirt that you wore today, and like why you wore it? You just happened to wear it. I mean, I know it's Drew. I know what it is.
Man, I wish I could give y'all a good story on why I wore this shirt, but it was my boy Rico. He put the shirt out. I was like, man, that shirt dope. And we went with it.
CJ had 33 points, 9 threes. He's had a number of big games for you guys, especially in your wins. Would you say he's an all-star, a deserving all-star?
A direct quote from CJ. He said it last year. He get paid like an all-star.
Good man. You guys are very nice.
What a lot you guys put up that 153 that huge number tonight.
I think the NBA should give us 3 days in between games more often. It was nice to be able to work out, kind of have real practices, scrimmage, be intentional about what we want to improve on, and allow it to translate into the game.
Zion had 11 assists. Just what do you think about the way he spread the ball around tonight?
Well, he did a good job of being aggressive, getting downhill, taking advantage of whatever the defense gave him. Guys made shots, obviously. I stepped out of bounds, so that was 1 assist. I cost him, and then I missed a wide open 3, so he should have had 13. But I think he did a good job of just playing aggressive, being intentional with his decision-making, and being forceful with how he tried to make plays.
An emphasis for the Pelicans coming off last season was, like Willie said, we just need to take a lot more threes. Like, did you intentionally come into this season and be like, I mean, you already took them and made it, but like you're like, I want to help it even more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a career 40% three-point shooter, so I've been shooting threes for a long time. I just played to the offense. When I was in Portland, I played off the ball alongside Dame, and then I would play on the ball as backup point guard. So a lot of pick and rolls, a lot of flare screens, and I've been in the league for a long time where they give you the mid-range shot. Early on in my career, they kind of give you that shot. So that's the shot I kind of mastered and worked on, and obviously I could always shoot threes, but just kind of take what the defense gives me, understanding how our offense was going to be this year and how I was going to be utilized. We played a lot without Z or without BI last year, so the role was different. How I was utilized was different, and I know how to adjust. I'm a pro. I know how to work on my game and figure out how to be intentional with my preparation, and the communication with Willie was that I was going to need to shoot more threes, and I said that's fine with me. 3 is more than 2, so I have no problem doing that. It's just being intentional with the preparation, how I work, finding the spaces, getting comfortable shooting threes when you're tired, especially off the dribble. So that's just conditioning. That's working certain spots, being able to shoot 2 feet off the line, 3 feet off the line. I had a little drop in my percentage, from 25 feet and up. It was like a 10% drop. So I had to just get back in the lab and kind of work, those areas, understanding that I should shoot like 42% from 3. So what's the threshold for that? How many reps do I need a day in the summer? How many reps do I need during the season? How much should I lift so I can maintain the strength, the balance, the stability to be able to produce, and I'm doing the work, so that's the result.
What's running through your mind when you see the play where Herb gets the block and then the steal and behind the back pass?
Yeah, I mean, Herb is a fantastic player, man. Great teammate. The guy goes 8 for 9 tonight. Corner threes. I think he's last 84, 85 games, he's shooting damn near 40 from 3. That right corner, he don't miss in that right corner. He shoots the ball really well from there. He does his work on a daily basis. He prepares. He's a great defender. Help side, on the ball, off the ball, and I think the way he plays is something that I've never really seen before, especially from a young player. Just selfless, just does all the dirty work. And doesn't often get the credit he deserves, especially from the media, especially from the league in terms of voting. He should be first team on defense.
And just seeing just how he's progressed offensively, how much does that help y'all, especially with that starting group, knowing that a lot of teams won't get
Yeah, it's just a conversation that we've had, and spacing. Spacing is important, and as he continues to get more comfortable in those corners, he's going to really help our team. He's going to make a lot of money, and he's going to be a game changer because he can also attack the basket. He's got better at finishing. He's a good passer. He makes the right decisions and always plays under control. So if we can hit them corner threes, it's going to change the game for him and for us.
41 assists tonight, about 153 points. You guys had, 35 fast break points. How much would you say, honestly, did those 2 practices help you? I know you mentioned, of course, having the days off helped.
Yeah.
But how about the practices?
Well, it helps when you get your butt kicked, like we did against the Suns. So you just got to figure out, like, how do we move forward and get better from this? And you learn some things about yourself, positives and negatives in terms of how to prepare better. So the practices helped, the losing helped. It's always good to respond well after a loss.
And CJ, when you say as you mean as the team, right?
Yeah.
much of it, you talked about the preparation when it comes to lifting and looking at everything in a collective way. How much was it kind of looking at, hey, if I adjust the amount of threes I take, increase it here, my expected values go up here.
Expected values is funny. I think it was a combination of things. Like I've gradually increased my three-point attempts on year over as the game has evolved, as the defenses have changed, and I can make middies. I still will take some. I just understand the numbers. I understand the spacing. I understand the units that I'm playing with, and somebody got to shoot threes. Right, like being honest, like Z's gonna play in the paint. B.I. will shoot him, but he's more middies. He's more rim. Herbert will shoot corner threes, but like I'm a 40 plus. I don't know what I'm shooting, but I'm probably shooting 45 from three right now on high volume. So it's like, why would I not shoot threes if I'm gonna be able to? If I can get 5 catch and shoot threes a game, I'll shoot 44% from three because I'm gonna make 2 out of 4. On an off night, I'm gonna make 2 out of 5 off the dribble. So, like, I like the numbers, I like the margins, but it's also understanding a deep two. Like, it's a tough shot. For me, I'm 6'3". It's a hard shot for me on the move. So, like, I just got used to floaters, paint finishing, short middies. So this year, my diet is more short middies. I don't take a lot of them, but if I get in the paint, I'll stop and shoot a short midi. If I'm under 15 feet, I'm trying to get my feet dirty and get in the paint. If I'm above 15 feet, I'm trying to take a three. So if I'm dribbling, if I'm moving around, I'm looking, I'm gauging the spacing. It's like playing the numbers. And that's what you work on in the summer is how do I get back behind the line or just get downhill, make a play for somebody else. So that's kind of how I approached this season. It was like no more deep twos. Unless I have to, then I'll do it. But I don't want to shoot deep twos. If I'm shooting the midi, it's Chris Paul and in. So that's like 14 feet and in, trying to get as close as possible to the paint. Otherwise, I'm trying to shoot threes.
Did the staff have a discussion with you going into the season, or was it more like you kind of reflected upon your own season?
Combo. I have a lot of people that I work with who break down film for me. So from a guy I worked with in the past, John Yim to AJ Diggs, and then I bring it all back, and then me and Casey sit down, then me and Willie sit down, and I'm like, this is how I feel I can be most successful. They tell me how they feel I can be most successful. Willie said I need to shoot 10 threes a game. He said you need to come in the best shape of your life. Casey was like, we got to work on our shot diet. We got to get better at paint finishing. We got to get better at our pick and roll. Our points per possession got to be higher. And if I'm making threes in pick and roll, then that's 3 points in the possession. If I can throw the lob to Z, getting downhill, that's helpful. So it's just understanding the game and understanding how I can be successful for this season and beyond for my career. If you can shoot threes at a high level, it's hard to guard you. I can get to the cup. I can make plays. So it was just a really smart decision on how to be more efficient. If I'm not going to get free throws, I got to make threes and layups.
And you're probably aware of this, but you're having a career year in a number of different categories, obviously.
Tell me about them.
Well, you're having
Let's talk about it.
You're having a career year in a lot of advanced metrics. There's a lot of those all-in-one numbers.
True shooting. Keep going.
Your three-point rates at its highest, your win shares, all that
Win
stuff.
shares. That's a good one. What's my plus minus?
Yeah, your plus minus is also, anyways, you're having a career year in a lot of those numbers. Is it rewarding to see, hey, like, the work that I'm putting in my thought process is actually, coming to fruition?
Yeah, I sacrifice a lot to be able to do this. I spend a lot of time working on my game, eating right, going to sleep early, Normatec, PT work, massage, in the gym at night, in the gym in the morning, workout after practice. I sacrifice a lot to be successful at basketball. When I was doing 3-a-days in the summertime, I knew this was an important year for myself and my family, and I didn't like how last season ended, and I didn't like how I played. Obviously, I was hurt, and there's a lot of things going on from our team standpoint, but I said, you know what, I'm just going to control what I can control, and that's taking advantage of a long summer that I've never had before. I never had that much time to get better. Usually I was in the playoffs. So I got the rehab, and then I started my 2-a-days, and I started my 3-a-days, and I said, all right, this is how I'm going to be good throughout an entire season. And so far, it's worked out pretty well.
At the end of the game, were you thinking about chasing 11?
I didn't know how many threes I had until I came out. I asked, and they said 9. I said, I missed 4, and then I missed 3 threes in and out, and the last one was wide open. So I said I could at least had 11. But I'm just trying to win games and go home.
CJ, we saw Joel go for 70 last night. Cat had 62. But do you think maybe the best version of this team is when you guys are all running together, pushing, with pace, and then looking for each other? Because there are so many weapons.
Yeah, I mean, some nights it's going to be different people. As long as we play fast and make the right decisions, the best players, the cream going to rise to the top. So you don't have to try to score. It's just going to happen organically. As long as you're playing aggressive, that's when you get the doubles and you make the right play. That's when they don't double and you shoot it, and sometimes you shoot over the double. But I think for us, it's just about playing hard and executing the game plan, and it's going to be what it's going to be.
Appreciate it.